Okay, we are back and it's time for the recipe we've all been waiting for. It's the thing that most people are talking about online today. It's the famous layered latte, and it's so easy. I'm going to show you how to do it in just a few steps. I should say that the credit for this, or discovering this, actually should go to my wife. It was like a lot of culinary things, an accident. She discovered this by accident, and then I just kind of took it, came in and said, well, how can I just take it to the next level, do this more consistently. So here's what, now you're going to need to be able to make espresso one way or the other. Any machine should work, because really all we're talking about is espresso and milk, and then however you'd like to sweeten it. I am using the Jura Capresso Impressa E8. It's a super automatic, so it does everything on its own. And so while this is heating up, I will tell you just a little bit. Now, really what we're making here is more technically a white cappuccino, which is just a cappuccino with just a little bit more milk in it than the normal cappuccino. What makes it different than a latte really is the presentation, how much foam is on top and all of that. But it's just more fun to say layered latte than layered white cappuccino. So once this is up to heat and ready for steam, we're going to add the milk. Now, the foam is important. It's a really crucial element of making this layer thing work. I usually put about, I'd say about this. Now these cups right here, obviously you're going to want to have a glass because you want to see the layers. This is about 3 ounces of milk. This is one of these things that you can do to taste, but I would recommend using skim milk. It does a much better job of foaming, although whole milk definitely tastes creamier. So it's a taste thing. It's a trade-off though. You get a stiffer foam, which again is important for the layering when you use the skim milk. Okay, so we're going to steam this milk. Now my tip for steaming is to keep the tip right under the surface here, and I tilt the glass. It just seems to make something of a difference. And I generally steam it until the milk is the foam is about to the top of the glass. Okay, once that's done, just set this here and then we make the espresso. Now I generally like to use Splenda to sweeten, and I just dump it right into where the espresso is going to come out. Now for a glass this size, I'm going to do, it's really about 6 ounces of espresso. So just push this, let this go. These super automatics are great for obvious reasons. You don't have to worry about grinding, tamping, any of that stuff. You just push the button and it goes. Now there are definitely various qualities of these, but this machine has served me very well over the years. Espresso, by the way, is really known for its high caffeine content, although there will be people who will tell you that regular coffee gives you more of a jolt, and that is, of course, because you're drinking much more of it. An ounce of espresso has about 2 or 3 times the amount of caffeine as an ounce of coffee does, but you're generally drinking about 6 ounces of coffee. So if you want the jolt, if you want the wake up, you want a regular cup of coffee, unless you plan on drinking a lot of espresso, which would burn and be a horrible experience, I think, for the most part. But when it's mixed with milk like this, and this is a rather large drink that I make here, then 6 ounces is generally okay. Plus, this is actually diluted. This isn't a pure 6 ounces espresso. It's more 3 ounces of espresso and 3 ounces of water kind of combined. The machine's taking care of that. Now, here's how it happens. Here's the magic. It's all in the speed. And the reason I used a pitcher with a little lip on it here is because then I have more control over the pouring. You just want to pour it very slowly. And you'll see the layers start to form. Now I have found that if you just do a really solid dark layer, the coffee is really, really strong. If it's just totally white at the bottom, totally black in the middle and white on the top, it doesn't really taste as good as if you kind of make the layers go kind of throughout. So what you do to do that is increase the velocity of your pour from time to time. And as you can see, as I do that, there's more of a separation. There's kind of it goes from a black to a dark brown to a light brown there at the bottom. And then at the end there, I'm going to really just pour it in there. Okay. And now you've got your layered latte, or your layered white cappuccino. And you can sprinkle it with white cocoa, in this case is cinnamon, whatever you like. But there it is. Very, very simple. Let's go enjoy it now.